Today we will discuss about a phrase in a scripture called Ashtavakra Geetha, which is a well-known scripture in India. So in that scripture, there's a phrase saying, I'll read it first and then translate it. Mayyanantamaham bodhau chittavate samudyate aho bhuvanakallolair vichidrair drak samudhitam Mayyanandam aham bodhau chittavate samudyate. These lines describes our true nature, the nature of God, the field of awareness that is aware of everything, every experiences that we go through in life. So what is the meaning of these lines? Let's see. Different types of lives, people, as a world evolve and dissolve. Where does it evolve, or where does it evolve? Mayyanantam, I am like an infinite ocean. In the infinite ocean of myself, my true self, which is formless, by the wind of the consciousness that has arisen, people, different kinds of situations, different types of lives, different images, different sounds, everything rise up like a little wave in the ocean. I am the formless, infinite awareness, field of awareness in which all these waves are rising up and down. So how long does a wave stay? Let's see. So I found some pictures that can help us understand. Okay, this is not a perfect picture, but this might do the work. So let's see what our self is like. Our self is like a calm ocean. A calm ocean. Okay? And you don't see any waves, any disturbance in this ocean. Now, life is full of storms. So, how does this ocean of our inner self, how do you get disturbed by a wave? So, what is a wave? Let's understand that first, okay? So, in this infinite ocean of my own self, a little wave arises. This little wave, okay, this little wave is rising up, okay? This wave thinks I am separate. So this is just a concept. I am separate from the ocean of self. That is the little me and you inside us. These little personalities that we play day and night. So, this personality, this personal identification is like a wave rising up from the ocean of true self, from God's self. Awareness, field of awareness, we call it by different names, but it does not have a name. It doesn't say, I am awareness or I am God. It is just here. So, this ocean, from this ocean, this little wave, this person, a life is rising up. It appears to rise up, okay? It appears to rise up. It's not really happening. It's just an appearance. Look at this. This wave, it's like a storm. Let's see how a storm is rising up. So, a storm is rising up as a problem in our life. Then it rises up like this. Then we feel so disturbed. It just throws you off balance. How long can it stay? It can stay for a little while and then clashes and just goes down and dissolves in the ocean. And the ocean becomes calm again. So, this is what we are going through every day. So, what does a storm mean here? A problem, a big problem is arising. So, how do you go beyond these ups and downs and in life? Ups and downs, and how do you go above these ups and downs? That is the real question. So when you have a problem, what do? We run for a quick fix. That's what we are all trying to do. So something inside us tells us there's something wrong. Then we are looking for a quick fix instead of looking at the root of the problem. We are just looking how to just escape from this particular problem. So instead of this quick fix method, we are looking at the root of the problem. That way, it doesn't keep coming and going. We go beyond these ups and downs. So let's see. So in this scripture, it clearly gives us a guideline on how to go beyond these ups and downs, how to prepare our mind, and how to train our mind to go beyond these ups and downs in our emotional graph. So when we find something nice, we just get excited, and then graph goes up, emotional graph. Then if the graph goes up, it has to come down. That is the law. That is nature's law. So it comes down as sadness when this excitement emotions are gone. So we all experience this. I don't know if you have noticed that or not. So these ups and downs, there is a way that you can stay in the middle without going up or down. You can. That is called equanimity. So in these scriptures, they give so much importance to this quality that we can train our mind to be equanimous. It's not like you become a statue of Buddha or you become emotionless. No, it's not like that. When we understand the nature of life, when we get this spiritual knowledge deep enough inside us, we do not go, our mind do not go up and down like, throw. It doesn't have that strength to push you up and down. No, it does not. we give the power to the mind to push us up and down. But when we understand this principle, mind loses its power um, to make us miserable and feel sad and get so anxious and worried. So how do you do that? So there is a 5-point rule for this in the scripture, and we'll go over it. So before we go into that, I want you to review what we learned in our last sessions, just to remind ourselves about our true nature. That is the foundation for the spiritual understanding. Who am I? So we looked at, I'm assuming you remember these pictures that we reviewed earlier. So this, the feeling of I am in plants, animals, trees, fish and dragonfly or crocodile, birds, frog or humans. The I am. We all think I am, these separate feelings, intuitive feelings. So this I am is the same field of awareness which is formless, but it appears to be separate in each forms. We have to understand this clearly, otherwise there is no way that we can go up in spiritual path. So how does this field of awareness work? Let's see. So we have 5 senses. We have reviewed this before. I see with my eyes. This I is the field of awareness. Field of awareness, the formless field of awareness, see with my eyes. I hear my ears. Formless awareness, hear with my ears. I taste with my tongue. The formless awareness, field of awareness, taste with my tongue. I smell with my nose. The formless awareness, smell with my nose. I touch with my hand. I means formless awareness here. So I equals the formless field of awareness, which is God. So God perceives through the 5 senses. So where is God? He's right here. So where does this fear comes up? When we have this feeling of loneliness, or I'm all by myself, there's no other power out there to help me, or there is nobody to take care of me, or so there's a lot of misconceptions and misunderstandings that triggers this fear. So when you understand that this Lord of the universe that we call God, divine or consciousness, it's right here, perceives that is what's hearing these words right now through your ears. You see my picture on the screen. You, the formless awareness, is seeing this picture in the screen. So let's first remember that we are not just our form. This is the basic misunderstanding that is the cause of worry. So when we are not the form, when we are not just the form, let's see some more examples. Let's say I have a house, okay, but I am not my house. Isn't that true? I have a car, but I am not my car. Um, I have a dress, but I'm not my dress. It's the same thing. Understand this principle thoroughly. I have a body, but I am not the body. So we have to remember this again and again and train our mind to think this way, because this is where we got it wrong. This is where we got lost. This is where we forgot our true nature. So remember this every day when you wake up. First thing, find your true position. Who am I? I have a body, but I am not the body. Remember all the relationships that we have, our loved ones. Love is there, but every relationship is made out of this concept that I am this body. So all relationships are body related, but there is something inside us that is beyond this concept of body, that is looking at this body, but it has nothing to do with the body. That awareness is when you close your eyes, you know, I'm here. I know I'm here. I am here right now. Nobody has to tell you you're here. Or did you ever feel, oh my God, I'm not here? Did you ever feel like that? No, never. We always feel, I'm here. I'm here. When you go to Germany, you'll feel, I'm here. When you go to India, you'll feel the same, I'm here. When you come to US, you'll feel the same way, I'm here. So this feeling of here is not about any location. It's about this intimate feeling of presence of God. So this foundation, we have to work on this foundation, because repeating and remembering this form, you can write it down. I am not the body. I have a body, but I am not the body. I have a house, but I am not my house. I have a car, but I am not my car. I use my car to travel, but I don't say I am my car. No. Cars come and go, but I'm always here. It's the same with consciousness. So when we looked at the picture of the ocean, a wave comes up saying I am separate. It's just a concept. It's just a thought. That is the first thought. I am separate. So let's see. So this wave, little wave, comes up and says, I am. How long can it stay? Just a matter of time, it would dissolve in the ocean. That's what we call death. Are we going to die? No, just the body dies. We do not die. So when we understand this, the fear of death just vanishes. Every fear is coming from this seed of fear, which is the fear of death. So understand this principle. Every fear, when you trace back to the root, that is what it is. Fear of death. So when the scriptures saying, no, you're not going to die. So when you read the near-death experience literature, some experiences, you'll say they are all saying they could see their body from a little far from the body, detached from the body. They were able to see the body and recognize, oh my God, I thought I was the body. I am not the body. So we are not just saying this like a philosophical thought or anything. No, we're not going to discuss any philosophy here. Just whatever we are saying here, we must be able to relate these principles in our own life and daily activities. So when scriptures are saying the same thing, you are not a form, but you're using this form. This puppet show, these puppets just act like they're talking, and just like cartoons. Is there anybody in that forms in the cartoon? No, it's just a program or somebody's hands moving with the puppet. So in the scripture, in this particular scripture, God says, I am the force. I am like the force making these puppets move. These puppets are our bodies. So understand this principle. And now let's look at these 5-point rule, how we can go beyond these ups and downs, how to encounter a storm in life. So first thing, what do we do when we find there's a problem coming? What do we do? First thing, we would start worrying. Huh? So let's see. Life is full of storms. These storms come and go. When these storms come, they throw you off balance. They bring with them moments of restlessness, hyper elation, feverishness, agitation. They burn you as if you are in a furnace. When they go, the memory of these storms keeps disturbing. You get a glimpse of the clearness in between two storms. But life seems to be like the ocean. One storm subsides and another one comes up. So it keeps coming and going, and same problems keep appearing. Why? Because each time when a storm rises up, somehow it leaves an imprint in the consciousness. How does that happen? With our own likes and dislikes, our own attachments and aversions to people, situation, and things. That's what is making it come back again and again. So when you are in this knowledge, you see everything, whatever others are experiencing, you're aware of it, but nothing touches you inside. Can you imagine a state like that? Nothing touches you. You just see it's like it's something happening far away, and it doesn't touch you. That's how it is. So let's say when you're in a restaurant with your friends, uh, you hear a lot of noise coming in the room. Plates, spoons, utensils, but it doesn't really touches you because you don't pay attention to that. That's how it is. Mind comes up with lots of things, but when you don't pay attention to your mind, with this psychological mind, I mean, not the practical mind. Yes, you have to do whatever you have to do with your family and friends, everything. But I'm not talking about the practical mind. Psychological mind, which is the culprit here. It just tortures you. So what do? When you identify that it's coming, you don't pay attention. You don't pay attention to the mind, and slowly and gradually it just loses its power and it comes back to its original form, which is not so bad. It becomes your friend and assist you. It can assist you with whatever you're doing, and life becomes so spontaneous and beautiful. So there is this possibility. Whatever I'm telling you, I am not talking about some philosophy. I am telling you from my own experience. I have tried this I've been practicing this for so many years, and mind became so peaceful. I'm not saying it's so excited, or no, it's not that kind of happiness. It's devoid of sadness. That is the maximum I can explain. It's devoid of sadness. Yes, you do feel compassion, you do feel kindness to others who are suffering, but it's all a game. Whose game? It's God's game, nobody else's. So you don't see it like a bad experience, or you don't label it. Everything is God's play. You can clearly see it with your inner eye. What do I mean by inner eye? Inner eye of knowledge. So that when that eyes gets opened, it's a different game. So we all have that possibility, but you just have to keep training your mind. That is the only thing that's blocking this experience of true nature. So it's not something like an exotic experience when you call your true nature or realizing your true self. It's very natural. When you leave these attachments and aversions from your life, that true nature just shines like a diamond, and nothing can touch you. You are the formless awareness of infinite ocean. You're like an ocean, and these problems are like little waves coming, comes and goes and comes and goes. Nothing touches you. What happens to an ocean when a wave is dissolving in it? Nothing. It's the same. So we have to go beyond this fear and fear, basically fear in these days. We know how the world is afraid, so much worried about this corona outbreak and COVID-19, and about how many people have died. We do not have any control over how this body would go and how this body would do, because like any other machines, it will die. But we have a wrong idea that it will stay for so long and it will be so happy. These are all just ideas. Wake up and see this. It's just a matter of time, and we must be able to be strong and say, let the death come. It doesn't matter. Nothing kills me. The formless awareness is what I am. And God is with us every moment in this journey. I'm not saying we must be happy about other people dying and getting sick. No, I'm not saying that. I am saying we have to be strong to accept whatever life is throwing at us. Okay, so that's why we are choosing this particular part in this scripture called Ashtavakra Geetha. And so how does we go beyond these storms? Life is just one storm after another. Understand this. Just this one sentence. If you understand this correctly, you'll get 100 points, spiritual points in your life. What did I say? Life is just one storm after another. So our mind just tells us to have an expectation of a beautiful life without any problems, and everything would be like chocolate moments. No, it's not. It's not for anybody. That's what we have to understand. Um, it's the same for everyone, including US president, other presidents of the other countries, and everybody. Everybody has to go through this storm. So, what do you do when you encounter a storm, when you find out a storm? First, number one, rule number one. First thing is to become aware of the storm. That's what's we are supposed to do. First, become aware. That way mind is prepared for next steps. So first thing is become aware of the storm. And remember, life is just one storm after another. We are not aware of our own emotions. We are not aware. That's why it keeps surprising us. When you know nothing is permanent in this world, you don't put your expectations on anybody or anything in your life. You're just there watching everything, the drama unfolds in front of your eyes. So, we are not aware of our own breath. Are you aware that you're breathing? Now that you're I'm saying this, you're aware. So we become so aware. Increase our awareness. Be alert. That is the only way we can catch our mind when it's tricking us. Do you hear this? Be aware. So first thing is that you become aware of the storm. Storm means in your mind, that's where the storm is coming up, not outside. It's inside our mind. So you become aware of the mind. Now, just like that, keep an awareness of how you're feeling. How you're feeling. Check inside. Check inside. When you become more aware, you're not really interested in whatever is happening outside. You're interested in your own self, in your own mind, how it is doing. Because that is our tool for a happy life. Our own mind is the best equipment that you can buy, you can get for a happy life. Everybody's running for happiness. Isn't that true? Everybody in this world, 7 billion of us, are running, chasing for happiness. And yet, we don't know that the key is right here inside us, our own mind. It's not outside. If your mind is peaceful and calm and trained, everything around you starts to change. It starts to change, and that's a promise that scriptures are giving us. Everything starts to change. It doesn't mean you won't find any challenges in your life. Yes, challenges do come, but you know what to do. There is this awareness inside us that's helping us to do whatever is appropriate for that moment, whatever needs to be done for that moment. That is how life becomes. It becomes so spontaneous. You don't have to plan and calculate and everything. No, it becomes so simple and peaceful. So that is the first thing. First thing is to become aware of the storm, which means our own mind, our own thoughts, our own emotions. Second, you can write it down. It keeps, it's worth writing it down because it keeps coming. The storms keep coming. So when you write down these steps, you know what to do. Put it on your fridge or somewhere you can see. Each time, and I did this when I first started this journey. I did this and I practiced it. with such a sincerity that I can tell you, yes, it works. It works. So, second step. First step is become aware of the storm of your own mind, of your own thoughts. Two, stop regretting and feeling guilty or blaming others. So first, what do we do when you encounter a problem? Our mind has a tendency to blame ourselves or others about this situation. So the scripture says, no, do not blame yourself or others for the situation because it's just happening. You have nothing to do with it. You have nothing to do with it. You are the formless awareness. Remember this. That's how we encounter the storm. The moment you become aware of your emotions, regret and guilt they come up. The second step is to forgive oneself and others. It's called kshama. That's a Sanskrit word for forgiveness. Kshama. So, first step is become aware of the storm, which means become aware of your thoughts and emotions. Second step, forgive yourself and others. First, forgiveness, it has to happen inside. Why do we do that? Is it going to help others? It's not for others. It's for our own peace. The mind becomes peaceful when you say, I forgive myself and others for this, because it's just happening. It's just happening. Nobody is responsible for this. I am not saying you should not take any actions to improve your life situations. First, forgiveness has to happen. Then take actions. Whatever action you need to take, you must do it. But from this space of forgiveness, you should do your actions. That means we are not creating more impressions, karma on in our mind. So that is the second step, and do this with 100% sincerity. When I say forgiveness, yes, do it with 100% sincerity. And next one is, I am not the body, body is not mine. So even though in this scripture, it says, Naham deho name deho, jivo naham hichit. I am not the body. The body is not mine. Body belongs to the consciousness, just like every other bodies that you see. I am not the Jiva, I am the consciousness. I am not this person. I am the formless awareness. That's the meaning of that line. What does it say? It says, remember your true nature. So second step we said, forgiveness. Forgive yourself and others. And then remember who you are. You are the formless awareness using this body to have experiences. Whatever experiences you're having, consciousness took this form to experience that. It doesn't have to be pleasant experiences. Consciousness wants to experience good and bad experiences. What do we do? So that is the truth. So third step is stop resisting the storm. Write it down. Stop resisting the storm, because mind has a tendency to resist whatever is happening. If it's happening against our concepts and projections, our mind tends to resist them. So law of the nature is whatever you resist, that persists. It has to come. We don't realize this. So sometimes we recognize some problems it keeps coming back. The same problem keeps coming back. Why? Because we are resisting it. We are resisting it. Somehow we are attracting it. That is the point that we have to understand. Whatever we're resisting, we are attracting it. So when you say, no, 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 please don't let me get sick, yeah, you're attracting it. Sorry to say this. It's hard to understand, but that is the truth. So what do? You don't say anything. Just be as you are. Just be as you are. So stop resisting the storm. Agree to experience the fire. I know it's very hard to hear this for some people. Agree to experience the fire. What does that mean? Just accept it. There is no other way. But good news is it has to pass. Like every other storm, this one will pass too. So right now, the world is experiencing a huge storm called COVID-19. It will pass just like other storms. How many storms did human race face? Lots of them, lots of them. And they all did pass. We didn't get stuck in one. No. So this will pass too. So remember this. When the anxiety comes up, when the worry comes up and you watch the news, everything is going down. And remember this. This thing will pass too. It has to pass because that is the law of nature. Everything is changing. Everything is changing. So, whatever it is, what is surrender? What is complete surrender means? You accept and you agree to experience the fire with full heart, trusting that God will take care of this. Do you think God doesn't know about COVID-19? No. He has a plan for everything. So he must have some plans for this too. Whatever the outcome is, that's his plan. There's nobody else here to plan anything. Understand this. So include his thought. Include God in everything that we do. Then the fear cannot touch us. It cannot touch us. You would be so strong if you do that. Include him in everything. In your thoughts, when mind comes up with worrying thoughts, you say, no, God is still here. God is still in charge. Can you say that with full faith? Then you are a winner. Otherwise, your faith is not too strong enough. The faith is not strong enough. It's a testing time for our faith. Can you see this? Only wise people can see this. It's a testing time. We say, I believe in you, God. I know you have a plan. No, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we do not trust Him. So, this is the test. This is a great test. Use this opportunity to increase your faith. Just agree to experience the fire. What is the fire? Fire is your own mind coming up with so many thoughts, fearful thoughts. Nothing touches you. These are just waves in the ocean. You are the ocean. You are the infinite ocean, the true self, formless awareness. doesn't die. It cannot go anywhere because you are everywhere. God's presence is everywhere. That is in us saying, I'm here, I exist. So do not forget this. If you forget this, that is when the mind comes up and catches you. So, what is the key? Remember who you are. Remember what God is. He is right here. When you hear the news, when you listen to a channel, a news channel, yes, He's the one who's listening through your ears. He's the one who's looking through your eyes. How can you forget? He's right here. That is our good news. We don't have any bad news to share. There's only one news, which is good, which is He is everywhere. He is always here. He is always in charge. Trust this. This is our walking stick. This is our walker. When you feel weak, when your body cannot walk, you use a walker or something to support your walking. This is that walking stick that we need to use. Remember again and again, whatever you see, whatever sad thing that you hear about, there is still something behind that incident that your little eyes cannot see. But God knows it. He can see everything. How can a mother harm? How can a loving mother harm her children? She would never do that. Just like that, God has 1,000 times more love than our own mothers. It's unconditional love. He would never do anything to harm his children. Trust this. At least have this much faith. When your faith is tested, that's when you know our own attachments and where the mind is catching us. That attachment, that really shows you where we should work on. So, third step is stop resisting the form. Agree to experience the fire, remembering that you are not this body. You are the consciousness. The bondage is because of your own mind and its own desires. Agree to be with the discomfort. Say it is okay. It will pass. When you have a cold, you say it's okay. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable for a couple of days, but I agree to have it. There's no other way. It's just like that. You agree to be with the discomfort. Don't try to run away because it doesn't help. We think trying to run away will help. No, it doesn't. It attracts more misery. Same kind of events. So stop resisting. It is so important. This third step is so important. Most people do not know this. So they keep worried, and they become more worried, and they attract more worries. So the cycle continues. So when you understand this, stop resisting the storm. Your mind goes wherever you go, your mind goes with you. So don't try to run away from it, because wherever you go, your mind goes with you. Even when we leave the body, the mind is with us. So if we don't train our own mind, there is no way out. You have to carry this miserable mind even when we're not in a body. Do you understand this? So it is so important to train your mind to become peaceful and accept the fact that there is only God here, playing as good and bad. Yes, He is everything. He is everything. Every virus, yes, that's Him. There is nobody else here. Can you accept this? We have so much misunderstandings about who God is. We have a picture that He is somebody in heaven wearing white robe, calculating our good deeds and bad deeds. No, it's not true. There is nobody like that. He's right here playing good and bad. This is the simple truth. So we have to remove those misconceptions and misunderstandings. Just remember, He's the only one here. He's the I in you, He's the I in me. I, the feeling of I. So when you remember you're not this body, it helps you tremendously. You will again be in the. So when you resist, what happens? You will again be in the same situation because the agitation is not external. It is in the mind and created by the mind. Understand this. It is created by the mind. Take with both hands what comes. Don't resist it. Don't resist it because resisting will only prolong the duration of the storm. Remember this. When you resist, you are helping the storm to stay longer. Do you want to do that? No, we don't. So stop resisting. Let it be. Let it be. There's this great saint in India. His name was Krishnamurti. When he was ready to leave the body, his body was ready to die, and his disciples asked him, Master, Master, do you have any last teachings that you can share with us? And they thought he's going to say something really marvelous and some philosophical things. But he just said one line. He just looked at his disciples and said, I don't mind what happens. I do not mind what happens. This is my last teaching. And that might be the most difficult thing for us to do. So let's practice that one teaching today. I don't mind what happens, whatever it is, however painful it is, because there's no way out. So don't resist it because resisting will only prolong the duration of the storm. So what is the third step? Stop resisting. What is the first step? Become aware of the storm, your own mind. Second step, forgiveness. Forgive yourself and others. Third step, stop resisting the storm and agree to experience the fire completely with full heart, because if you trust in God, you know He is with you. With that trust, you agree to experience the fire completely. Fourth step, accept that it is the nature of life that storms arise and dissolve. What is the fourth step? Accept the fact that it is the nature of life to have storms in life. Otherwise, it's like, for example, let's say you build a house. You built a house in the middle of an ocean, okay? And at night, the waves are clashing, and the sound it's so noisy. you cannot sleep, and you're complaining, oh, I cannot sleep because of these waves. Then somebody wise heard this and he says, why did you build a house in the middle of an ocean? It's just like that. We agreed to experience this before we took the shape of this body. So we are here believing that we are separate from God. That is where we agreed to experience this. That is where everything started. We forgot. It was just a mask in the beginning, okay? We decided, the formless awareness, decided to wear this mask of a person. And then after a while, you find out you're stuck with the mask. You forgot that you're wearing a mask. It's just like that. Just like that. So, what are we doing now? We are trying to remember that we are wearing a mask. So, accept that it is the nature of life that storms rise, they play, and then they dissolve. That is the nature. Accept that. Life is full of misery. And what is the way? Is it a bad news? No, there is a good news. Because when we train our mind and trust in 100%, trust 100% in God's existence, you can go through this and your mind becomes peaceful, and that is called heaven on earth. That's called God's kingdom. What is God's kingdom? A life where a person recognizes that God is the only one here. That is heaven on earth. That is a simple recognition. But what is it that is blocking this realization? Our own attachments and aversions. Attachments to the body, attachments to our loved ones, attachments to the house or our possessions, attachments to so many things. So we can go beyond these attachments, and that's what we are talking. That is what we are discussing now. So the storms rise, they play, and then they dissolve. That is just the way it is. In the ocean of my true self, many such lives are evolving and dissolving. All these people that you see, it's all your own self. Can you accept that? It's like a mono act. It's the same one acting as so many people, 7 billion lives. It's the same. You are doing mono acting. Everyone is a reflection of me. Recognize this, that it is I in this person, in this form, and in that person, in that form. It's the I, the awareness, the formless awareness, the presence of God in that person, this good person, and that this not so good person. Everything, everything. Recognize that life is full of opposites. So, right before this corona outbreak, our life was somewhat normal, we can call it. What's happening now? It's the opposite. It has to go to that opposite pole to balance it out, to help us realize what we have, and to have that experience, that contentment within ourselves, and we come out strong, much stronger than before when we practice this spiritual knowledge, when you have a storm looking at you. So then there is no reason for conflict. These storms rise and subside within me. Recognize that life is full of opposites. So point is, opposite values are complementary to each other. Recognize this and accept it. I know it's so hard for us to accept it because we have so many concepts about good and bad and all these things. But when you hear this, you start to wonder what this means. Because if everything, it's just one principle playing as so many roles, how can you say somebody is good and somebody is bad? It's just one. Fire evaporates water and water puts out fire. So opposite values are complementary. We have a saying in India, you must bow down to the ignorant first before you bow down to the wise. Why do you say that? Because these people whom we call ignorant, they help us so much in so many ways to go beyond our limitations. They help us so much to go deep in spiritual knowledge. So we must bow down to them before we bow down to the wise people. That's why we call that. So that is there. The fire evaporates water and water puts out fire. That is their nature. Accept the opposites. Accept the opposites. Number 5. So fourth rule is, what is the fourth rule? Accept that it is the nature of life that storms arise, they play, and then they dissolve. That is the fourth point. Number 5. Remember that you, the formless awareness, are bigger than the storm. This is the good news. Whatever we are facing now, you are bigger than the storm. This little storm is arising in you, the infinite ocean of awareness. It cannot destroy you. Nothing can destroy you. What a great news. There is a stronger force that is taking care of you. Relax. This is the good news that this scripture has to offer us. So let's honor this knowledge. Let's honor this knowledge today. So number 5, remember that you are bigger than the storm. It cannot destroy you. There is a stronger force that is taking care of you. You cannot see it, but it's right here. This conversation is taking place between a king named Janaka and his master called Ashtavakra, the saint Ashtavakra. And King Janaka then gives us a beautiful example that the ocean is deep, vast, calm, and blue in its depth. When there is a storm, it is only at the surface level. Deep down the ocean, it is silent. Just like that, these waves just rise and fall on the surface of yourself. Deep down, you're that beautiful ocean of love and peace. Every storm, and then gives another example. Every storm finishes you, the little personal identity. You cry, but if you are knowledgeable, you will laugh. This is the role of spiritual knowledge in life. It is your life jacket. It saves you from drowning. So, scriptures, they give us life jackets. This life jacket is the spiritual knowledge, and we have to use it, especially times like this. Use this opportunity to wear this life jacket and go beyond this storm. All lives I see are part of me. Remember this. I have taken so many forms. I, the formless awareness, have taken so many forms. My own consciousness, big mind, is acting this way in that mind and that way in this mind. So, in every little form, consciousness is acting differently. That's why nobody is same. Even these identical twins, they have their behavior is not the same. Their form might look identical, but the behavior and the mental structure is different, because consciousness wants to play different roles in 7 billion little minds. So the person whom you believe you are is a mask that God is wearing right now. Remember this. So it's all Him wearing different masks. You see in Mardi Gras parade, you see lots of people wearing masks. Just like that. This is a parade. This life, this world is a parade. God is wearing different masks in this parade. That's you and me. So, all these different minds are playing different roles, but they are all me, the formless awareness. These personalities clash with each other. They play for a little while on account of nature. It is so amazing. The King Janaga is amazed at this realization that his own awareness is playing these different roles. So, what is your homework today? Apply these 5 points rule whenever you hear a bad news about this COVID-19 or whatever situation you're facing. Apply this rule and be with the fire. Be strong enough to go beyond this storm. There is no other permanent solution. When you do this, when you keep doing this, when you sincerely practice this spiritual knowledge, you will be able to go beyond the storms of life. Then the storms would come, but nothing touches you. You get to that point and you look back and become amazed of your own growth. And that's what I wish all of you today. You will reach to a point where you will be amazed at your own growth, your own mind's growth. So, how do you get there? By practicing these 5 point rules. Write it down, read it many times, and practice it. And you will see a huge difference in your life experience. God bless you and your loved ones. Namaste. Be strong. Trust in Him. He is still in charge. Nobody else is here. Only Him. And I'll leave you with this note. God bless you.